it's Janae, and I'm going to be talking about another book today. Sorry I've not been on lately, been a little busy, but I'm back, and I'm going to be talking about a book titled The Shadow by A.G. Porter. To give you a little background, I met A.G. Porter at a book signing event in Knoxville, and just fell in love with her. You know, friend love. They had brunch set up for all the authors at the event, and I had just got my table set up, and I was sitting there thinking, do I want to go eat? Do I just want to sit here in my little hidey hole? Because I'm a bit antisocial, I guess you could say. I don't like being around.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Sorry, I got a text. Anyway, her table was right down from mine, and she came over and asked if I wanted to go eat, and I'm like, sure, let's go eat. So we ate. Once the signing was over, we kind of hooked up and swapped books, and I finally got to sit down and read The Shadow. And it's one of those books that once you start it, you kind of have to finish it. Because I've got some books like on my Kindle, and I've actually got one on there right now, and I don't care if I finish it. So I probably will at some point, but it's just not, imperative that I finish it right now. The Shadow, I needed to finish it right then. So it's pretty good. This is a young adult series called the Darkness Trilogy. The Shadow that I'm going to be talking about is book one, and The Forsaken is going to be book two, which I've not read yet, but I'm going to read it real quick like. They are both available on Amazon, and The Shadow happens to be only 99 cents. So I would go one click it right now. Instead of trying to remember all the little details of what the book is about and most likely giving away spoilers, I thought I would just read the synopsis on the back of the book. That way you know what it's about, and I don't have to worry about giving anything away or screwing anything up for you before you get to read it. So, here is the synopsis. Raina Stone is an 18-year-old girl from a small Alabama town that just wants to save a little money for college. In order to do that, she has to find a summer job. The problem with that, the only place that is willing to take her is the upscale golf resort of The Landing. This was not her idea of a summer job, being around snobby rich folks. But when she meets eyes with the owner's son, Liam, who is Australian, by the way, she starts to see the brighter side of things. That is, until she's seeing things that she can't quite explain and having dreams that are haunted by a being she calls the Shadow. The Shadow begins to show her things about a few missing girls that she wished she had never seen. Another chilling fact, her dreams seem to be coming true. As if that isn't enough, she learns that this ability of hers gives her an insight into what others around her are feeling. Soon after this, Raina learns that Liam does feel something for her, but even though she wants to tell him she feels the same way, something is warning her to stay away. Not because he is dangerous, but because she is. I just recently wrote a full review on Goodreads for this one if you want to check it out. I think my username's just goodreads.com/Janae Mitchell, but you can find it on there. And as I was reviewing it on there, I thought that I needed to do this video because I've done more of the popular ones. I've done Twilight and the Lex series and Hopeless, but I wanted to do an indie author. So I'm going to try to start doing those a little bit more instead of the ones everybody's heard of, to kind of give a voice to the ones that you just don't hear from or hear about very much. So I thought The Shadow would be perfect. No matter how good a storyline is, if I can't visualize that storyline in my head like a movie, then it's pointless for me to read it. I don't know how many stories I've wanted to read, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited to read this one. It sounds so good. And then I start reading it, and I'm like, what? But this one, as I'm reading, I visualize the whole thing. It's a movie in my head. The Shadow was the movie in my head. So right off the bat, that made me like this story. And the fact that it's different made me like it even more. I liked the characters in this book. Raina Stone is a normal teenage. Well, she's not normal because, all these things she does. But other than that, she's normal and has normal feelings. And her dad has died. So, that bothers her. And then all these other things going on bothers her. And then there's Liam, Australian. It was funny as I was reading, and at one point Liam called Raina love, like come here, love, or something like that, and I'm like, but I'd forgot he was Australian, so I went from thinking he sounds like my grandmother to, oh no, he's Australian. As the story progresses, one of the things I liked is that Liam had a girlfriend, and Raina and his relationship, even though you want them to get together and you think they probably will get together, it's not, I mean, they don't. Not through, most of the story. And in most books, including mine, love happens pretty quick because in a lot of stories, it has to kind of get the ball rolling. But this book had so much other stuff going on that it didn't have to rush that relationship to get the ball rolling. There were other balls rolling. So that one, you know, got to go a little bit slower, which, it's a first book in the series. This is, as far as this series goes, the first date. You don't want first dates to rush and go, woo. You want them to take their time, go slow, so you can get to know that other person. So to me, The Shadow was that. You kind of got to know the characters, you know what's going on. It was the first date. With that being said, as much as you think you learn in this book, you don't really. Because by the time you get to the end of it, you're going to have a lot of questions. I know I have a lot of questions. So it's not that she really leaves a cliffhanger at the, well, yeah, she does kind of leave a cliffhanger, but it's not action. It's not an action cliffhanger like you're running, 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 jump off and you're dangling by a rope. It's more like you kind of creep up to the cliff and you peek over the edge and you slowly climb down and you get comfortable. So you're there, but it's not like you're not hanging by a thread. So I will leave you with this little bit of advice. Um, get the Forsaken. If you start the Shadow, make sure you've got the Forsaken to jump right into because I've not been able to read it for like a week, so I've had to wait because I had a book signing today and some other stuff going on. So I've been a little busy and I've not had a chance to just read. So it's rough. So I don't wish that on you. So make sure you've got the Forsaken after you finish the Shadow. So remember, book one, the Shadow, A.G. Porter. It's only 99 cents. And book two will be The Forsaken. It's the Darkness trilogy. You need to read it. Thank you for watching and happy reading. Until next time.